February 15th. What's today?
Yes, sir.
Time for Team No Sleep, that dog. What's happening, brother?
Yeah, let me wipe it out my eyes, man. Let me wipe. Yeah,
because
let's go. We
we
ready to
don't
rock and
sleep.
roll.
We always up in here. Hold on, man.
Absolutely.
Let me make sure my sound is coming through. Am I good?
You're good. I hear you. I hear you crystal clear.
I guess I should probably plug in my headphones all the way, so I don't have no problems. I'll edit this out of the video. Don't worry about it, folks. But we here. Team No Sleep. Montel Allen is over there doing his thing, brother. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We had a guest that was gonna be here. Where you at, Tony? Where you at, TD? Come on, brother. You supposed to be logging in. I gave you the instructions. Oh my gosh, that's all right though. I see a senior. Hold on. Let me get the comments up here. Appreciate you, sir. Let me get the comments here. We see. Thank you for joining, sir. We got a lot to talk about, as always, though. Man, we got a lot to talk about, and we're going to start with some social impact conversations. We're going to go into some NBA. We're going to go into some football. We're going to go into some basketball. But we're going to start with some Olympics. How about that? And, if it's the social impact story, then there could be a problem. There could be a problem. So let me just go and set the stage for you right now. If you're not watching the Olympics right now, you're not the only one, because apparently the ratings are actually a little lower than they normally are. But there's still some good things happening. There's some good stories happening. But this one right here, 15-year-old Russian skater Kamila Valiava. I hope I didn't butcher her name there, but she has been caught up in a doping scandal. She tested positive a few months ago she took the test a few months ago, and the results just came out about her taking some performance enhancement equivalent types of drugs. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Wasn't meant to be." I'm paraphrasing. She's saying that, I got my drugs or my supplements that I was taking, I got them mixed up with some pills that my grandfather was taking. So she's blaming it on her grandfather's medication, some heart medication. Long story short, it goes to arbitration. It goes to the IOC. It goes to all of the governing bodies, and they just wrapped up the conversations. And lo and behold, they said, "You know what?" Again, I'm paraphrasing. Lo and behold, Camilla, it's okay. It's okay. We you 15. We gonna let you skate. We're gonna let you go ahead and do your thing. We will probably not do a medal ceremony should you win. And look, she is forecasted to win. I saw her skate the other day. She bad. Look, she can do what she need to do out there on that ice. But again, so they say probably, okay, with all this controversy, probably not do a medal ceremony. But the problem here is not just that she was positive for a drug test, not just that the fact that the committee ruled and said, even though you were positive and we're still going to let you skate. Y'all think back not too many months ago where we had a young lady by the name of Sha'Carri Richardson. Yeah, the substance was a little bit different, but there was no conversation. There was no second guessing. It was quick and rapid judgment that came down to, whereas she could not run anymore after she tested positive and said she smoked a joint after, I believe it was her mother or her grandmother had passed, and she had done that kind of as a resting type of as a medical situation for herself, right, to calm her nerves, right after I can't remember if it was a grandmother or her mother passed, but Sha'Carri Richardson is asking, and she's calling foul on this. Right?
Rightfully so.
Talk to us, Montel. What do you think about this? Again, the 15-year-old ice skater from Russia who tested positive. She blamed it on a grandfather. Lord have mercy. She blamed it on a grandfather. Said it was his stuff. So why are you taking? Okay, wait. I'll get into that too. Why are you taking your grandfather's medication? How are you getting contaminated with that? Do you not know what you're putting in your body when you're a professional athlete?
Well, let's step back. Let's step back. First of all,
because I know I tried to boil it down, boil the ocean, and go all over the place.
Yeah. Let's peel the layers off this onion. Let's peel the layers. First layer is there was rules broken, right? She took a performance enhancement drug, which you should be automatically suspended from competition once you did that.
Yes.
Regardless of the nature of how she got it, whether she took it voluntarily, involuntarily, not knowing, whatever the case may be, she broke a rule of taking a performance enhancement drug, which is supposed to be suspended. With that being said, she broke a rule, right? So when you break a rule like that, you're automatically supposed to be suspended from competition, regardless of what's going on. The committee, Russian committee, appealed, told her story that she supposedly got it, mixed up with her grandfather's drugs and took it, and that's why she tested positive. If that's the case, then there's a fault. Then one, I don't truly believe the story, but I mean, if that is the case, then unfortunately, young lady, for your mistake, you have to be punished, because in this international competition, the rules are if you break the law, especially if you break the rules and you take a performance enhancement drugs, you're disqualified from competition. For some reason, the Olympic Committee, IOC, said it's okay based on what the Russians committee recommended. Says she shouldn't. She's already suffered enough because she was pulled out of the one competition. Now she goes to this competition. She should be able to compete. She's only 15 years old. That shouldn't be the case. You broke a rule. You took a performance enhancement. Either you dropped the ball or your team dropped the ball. Man. So unfortunately, you will be suspended from competition. You're 15 years old. You get to come compete again when you're 19 years old. Still young enough to compete and do all the things you need to do. Let's go back to now Ms. Richardson. She was told after taking a marijuana joint, which is not an athletic enhancement drug, it's actually a suppressant.
True.
It doesn't, it's an illegal drug, but she's not supposed to take it. She was suspended for a whole year out of U.S. competition.
Yep.
So let's take the obvious. There's a color issue.
There's a double standard. There's a whole bunch of wait,
no. You're going on. I'm saying there's an obvious. This is the obvious. There is a color issue between both athletes. That's number one. Number two, I'm more upset that the U.S. didn't defend the actions they took.
Yeah.
And put that to the IOC and said, no, you wanted us to suspend our number one female sprinter, and we took a harsh statement. The harsh action should be taken on the Russian skater. But IOC has not said any competition. I mean, the USOC hasn't said anything. That became to Sherry's defense at all. Richardson's defense at all. And I can see why she's screaming foul play. And she's screaming it based on race and what's going on.
Yeah. So before we continue on this, and there's other folks that are screaming this as well. So again, if you may not be a fan of Sha'Carri Richardson, that's okay. We got somebody else that's part of the U.S. Olympic team that is crying foul on this. But shouts out, I got the man in the green room right here. Oh, Lord, Tony Davis is in the building. Folks, hold on. Let me bring this bald head brother on the screen. What's up with you, man? I ain't seen you since high school. You look at you, still looking good, boy.
Man, I'm trying to look like you guys.
All right, good. You show up when you want to. We go live on time around here. There's no CP time around here, brother. We go live at 6:30, but that's okay.
Well, man, I'm not good on that electronics and the media.
That's all right. That's okay. I tell you what, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in Team No Sleep. You always in the comments with some quality mentions and things like that. I figured, look, let me go and let's just get the man on camera to tell his story and to tell how you feel. And tonight is definitely a good night for you to be here because we got some things that are pulling. As you came in, you heard us talking about the Russian skater and how she failed her drug test and got back on the team. Right, kind of just a hand slap. She's just probably not going to be able to have a medal ceremony. But we're thinking back and reminding back of Sha'Carri Richardson, right? The sister who was out there racing. She was smoking a joint when her grandmother or her mother died. I need to do that research and figure out which one it was. But she got suspended for a year. What are your thoughts on kind of how this has transpired and kind of the differences between Sha'Carri Richardson and what's her name, Camilla from the Russian team?
From the Russians. Richardson, they just used her, to me, as a pawn.
Wow.
The IOC, they knew that this girl took steroids. Mm-hmm. And you waited 2 months to make the statement, to say that she tested positive. That to me makes no sense. That's right there. That's a cover up.
So they knew the results. Let her skate anyway, because again, she's really the favorite. She's expected to just walk out of there with nothing but gold around her neck. But that's interesting that how you put it that way. Okay.
But you got to think about it too. If she wins, nobody gets a medal.
Well, I know there's no medal ceremony. So you saying that you think that they're not even going to get the medals out?
No, because they even said that if she wins, that basically they still got to investigate it.
Yeah, right.
Well, I feel slighted for somebody else that somebody's slot she's taking, right?
And that's
obviously she's taking another country's spot, and they can be in this competition and be in the top 3 instead of her winning it or coming in or placing in a medal portion of it. She's somebody else that did not use a performance enhancement drug. Someone has worked just as hard as she has, and now that opportunity is going to be taken away because she's been slapped on the wrist for something she's done illegally. Now I agree with you. I think it's a cover up. I mean, the story doesn't sound right to me at all about the grandfather thing. That doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah,
and the fact that like I said, like I said, the fact that the USOC and the IOC isn't screaming with their hands up based on what they did to Sha'Carri Richardson just 6 months ago. If it was that long, maybe 4 months ago. Yeah. So we're not even a half a year away, and you did that to Sha'Carri Richardson, but yet now we're in a similar situation. Matter of fact, I think a worse situation because, like we said, marijuana is not a performance enhancement drug. It's more of an anxiety drug.
Yeah, she took now it's actually on the global stage, right? When the Sha'Carri was doing it, wasn't even the Olympics yet, right? She was still here, she was still home running and all that. Yeah. But so Tony, I want to bring you in with this here. So think about this.
That, sorry to interrupt you guys.
No, go ahead, brother.
Is that Sha'Carri, when she took it, it was legal in her state.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was banned by the U.S. committee, so I get it. So that's their rule. So I understand that. I'm saying from a standpoint where she didn't take a performance enhancement drug. Weed doesn't perform; is not enhancing your performance. This young lady took some type of steroid or some type of drug that enhances your performance. Completely two different things. Mm-hmm. But Sha'Carri was given basically the death penalty for a year, and this young lady gets to continue.
And we see how
based on whatever reason they're doing.
We see how Sha'Carri has performed since, right? She has not done as well.
Right? No,
I mean, so it's had a detrimental effect for her as well. So let me bring this up, right? So Adam Rippon is he's a coach on the U.S. team. He used to be a figure skater on the U.S. team as well. He's calling foul on this. And look, again, if you don't like Sha'Carri Richardson, okay. But look, Alan Rippon has 2 words that he has said to this entire judgment, and I ain't make this up. This is what he said. Okay, now I'm just gonna put it on the screen. He thinks that this is incorrect. He thinks that again, this just like you were saying, Montel, like you were saying, Tony, this has to be reevaluated, and this girl from Russia should not be out there on the ice because the entire program now is just a farce. It's right now it's just it's a joke, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So this is bad, man.
It's hard to. I think it's hard to respect the IOC and their decisioning now based on this kind of this situation. And basically, this is telling me you're going to let who you want in to compete, and you're going to ostracize anybody you don't want to compete. Bottom line, whether it's based on race or if it's based on the country you're representing or based on whatever. Because I don't think people realize when Sha'Carri Richardson tested positive before she got caught, she was at the top of her game. Like the top of the game. She was like considered one of the best, coming out. Since then, since destroying all that stuff, she's not been as good. But at that point, before that happened, she was at the very, very tip top of her game. So no telling what she would have did in the Summer Olympics if she'd had the opportunity to compete.
Exactly.
But that opportunity was taken away from her.
Taken away, right? Didn't get invited, didn't get a chance to compete, just was again kicked to the curb. And it's I said it before we went live. I don't know. Or is the Olympics? Are we scared of Russia right now? Right, we know there's some things that are happening. Tomorrow may be a very bad day just between Russia and Ukraine. Just some things that are going on in the world. But is it that they were I'm being devil's advocate here, Tony. I see you smiling, man. But I'm just wondering if they were trying to. I don't want none of the smoke. So let's just go ahead and let this young girl go ahead and skate, so we don't ruffle any feathers and cause no problems. But man, Adam Rippon is saying it, man. If they are truly worried about the irreparable harm, set her up with proper counseling to deal with the incredibly sad situation she finds herself in, and send her home.
Yep, I agree.
Think about it. You got to really think about it. It's like when Richardson got caught, she was immediately tested. Immediately. So once she got her test, they banned her. This girl tested 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, and now coming out with results. I mean,
yeah,
I'm baffled.
I mean, I'm hearing you. I'm in 100% agreement. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's something that doesn't
here, right? You talking to the choir?
Yeah. It's something not right about that situation. I'm saying, I mean, you're going in a little bit more deeper, James. Like, maybe they don't want no smoke with Russia, or the ROC. It's not Russia. It's the whatever they call it, like Russian Athletic Committee, blah blah blah.
Right.
But I'm saying, I don't know if it's that, if it's even that, man, because there's obviously there's a race component to this, and I know everybody wants to duck and dodge it, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a race component to this. This is a young African American woman competing at the top of her game that had an opportunity to go out there and compete and do very, very well. She took a drug that was illegally banned, and she got the death penalty basically for a year. Yeah. We have a young lady that is Russian, but she is white, and she gets basically a slap on the wrist for an enhancement drug. We're not talking about weed, or we're not talking about she took aspirin, or she took something. She took a drug. She took steroids, basically. Yeah. She took a form of steroids. And yet she's cleared to compete, and not only compete but win.
And she will,
and go back and represent her country.
She's the baddest thing out there on ice. So she will win, right? I mean, there's just no doubt about that.
So let's keep the elephant in the room. Race is a component. It ain't it's country, but it's race. Race is a component in this thing.
Boy, y'all ain't hearing this. He said, "Keep the elephant." Forget, man. Keep the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
Tony,
man. I mean,
Montel is coming tonight, boy.
Hey, Montel's coming.
I'm just being honest, man. I mean, and they can dance around it and hide around it and say what they want, but you can't say they're not taking that into effect. I mean, you got to also look at their appearance. Sherry Richardson, her appearance, how she was, the long nails, long eyelashes. I think she has a tattoo, whatever, and all that stuff. She represents that part of racing, which I don't know if that's indicative of they want that to be what they want. They want in America, or what they want the visual to be, because she's a bad sister on the track field. I don't know if that's indicative of what they want to represent. They want that image to be on top of the podium. So you give her the death penalty.
Wow.
Which I don't I still don't clear. To this day, they haven't even gave us a stern explanation why they gave her the death penalty for a year. Again, we're going now with someone, they took an enhancement drug and she gets a slap on the wrist, man. I think Sherry Richardson, as a matter of fact, Richardson, I think, is an epitome of what we do need on there. She made a mistake. She held herself accountable for it. She said she apologized about it. She said she would suffer any punishment they gave her, which she did, which is death penalty, which I thought was too severe, and stood up and held her head up high about the situation.
Right.
We get a situation right now where the mask is covering, and it's okay to just slap her on the wrist. I mean, what message are we sending? Period. In this instance.
Well, like you said, it's got to be a race issue.
It's something, and we know that that's near the top. I would love to hear folks' comments about what they think about this as well. Right, we hitting you in the mouth. I know, right from the beginning. You thought we were just going to talk about Dre and Eminem and the halftime. No, we gonna hit you in the mouth with this one right here. So,
and it's crazy. It's just crazy, man. I don't know. I know no one else talks about that part, and they always want to leave that part out of it.
Yeah.
But that is a component of it. Yeah. And I think the IOC needs to be called out for it. The IOC as well as the USOC needs to be called out for.
But didn't something similar like this happen to Usain Bolt? I'm not sure.
He was never banned.
He was never banned. No, he was never banned.
Yeah,
he was still able to run. I forgot what happened to him, but there was some small little controversy, but nothing to this extent, right? In terms of enhancement drugs or anything. He just fast. Look, that brother could just move. So. All right. You know, folks, can chime in for sure if you got anything on that. But I know that was a tough topic, tough conversation. We got a couple of more tough conversations and things that we typically talk about. Mental health, mental awareness, just being able to take care of yourself, making sure that you have the resources that you need. And we talk about that here on this show. And one thing, unfortunately, that has happened recently is the nephew, right, of the Williams sisters, Serena Williams. Their 21-year-old, as of February the 3rd, took his own life, right? So young man was dealing with some things mentally, internally. He was playing sports. He was doing all kind of good things, but he had bipolar depression, and his mother was trying to work with him, but it just overtook him. It overtook him, so he fell victim and prey to ODing on drugs as well. So this Serena and Venus lost their nephew. Again, 21-year-old young man, unfortunately. So it's just a sad story, right? You definitely hate to hear about those types of things happening, and you always want folks to. You say you want to reach out for help. You want to provide that assistance to people, especially around your close circle. Either you don't know what's happening, or you know what's happening, or you don't know if someone's at that level, that kind of thing. So I at least wanted to put out the website here for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. Right? If you ever get to that point, just give somebody a call. That's a 24/7 number. Call somebody in your family, right? Call somebody you like, somebody you don't like, but just talk to somebody, right, real quick before you get to that point. But I wanted to put that out there. I'm not sure if you guys saw that story again about Serena and Venus Williams' young nephew there.
Yeah, my prayers go out to their family, going through these tough times, obviously, in situations like this. It's unfortunate. The mother was trying to help him, and I think this is another wake up call to realize that mental health is really an issue, and it is real. It's not something that's made up.
Yeah.
Especially in our community, African American community, we kind of ignore it and shun it away, tell you to kind of just get over it or do whatever. But I think mental health and depression is something that is obviously very, very real. And in today's times, it's even harder to deal with because we're isolated so much with COVID and certain things like that. So I think this is just another wake up call. Unfortunately, a person had to pass away for it to get noticed. And like you said, I would hope people would reach out more, listen a little bit more. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. He wants you to listen more instead of kind of just talking. Maybe just hear the story and kind of see what's going on and see what's bothering them, and then maybe chime in and give some advice if that's the proper time or right thing to do. But they're going through it. They just had the movie release. You know what I mean? Both the sisters are very successful in tennis, so he's always going to be in some type of limelight. It's just unfortunate, but just check up on, like I said, check up on somebody that is going through it, because as we know, these things are becoming more and more real, and unfortunately, becoming more and more frequent.
Exactly.
In our society.
Exactly. It's sad, and when I was doing research and I was taking a look at this story, I mean, the sad part is too, the oldest son of the family, the older brother, is still sending text messages to his younger brother's phone. That's him going through the grieving process, right? He's sending messages talking about sports because that's what they did. That's what kept them going. Obviously, no, he's not going to get a response, but again, he's sending those messages to his brother's phone as a way of grieving. So again, those types of things just really hit home and just make you think. So again, folks, I'm gonna make sure that this link and this phone number is in the description of this show, so you know if you need it, put it in your wallet, put it in your phone, so you can call them as well. Looks like Mr. Davis is having some cell phone or some connectivity issues, so when he gets back, we'll bring him back on screen. Um, Mental health issues. This man right here, Ben Simmons, right? He stopped playing. He didn't want to play. He had things going on. Then he broke out and said he had mental challenges. So then we all had to stop. And we said, okay, now see, you can't play with that, right? We thought he just didn't want to play. He forgot how to shoot or whatever the case may be. We was making fun of him, but then he broke out and he said, I've got challenges adjusting from a mental perspective. So we had to pay. We paid more attention to him. What do you think about this now? Now that he's no longer in Philadelphia, now that he's over in Brooklyn, how do you, what's happening is Brooklyn is trying to get him ready to play his first game back when Brooklyn plays Philadelphia. Now that's that's gonna be a cool game, right? That's gonna be a very interesting game to see Ben Simmons playing against his former teammate, which he had such a hard falling out from. And how is he going to gel? How is he going to get over that hump? Get out of his own head? Is it just being on a new squad, wearing a new uniform, or being in a new city under a new coach? What do you think is gonna happen?
This story right here is really touchy. Because I saw his press conference what he did earlier today. He did say that he had some personal issues, and he had some mental things that he was concerned about, and that's kind of why he definitely stepped away. But there's a lot of caveats to go in this. So one, he's fighting also for the money that he lost, and the NBA can't pay you. They'll pay you if you are under mental duress, right? So you can claim mental duress, and you can go take some time off and do what you got to do to get your thing back, and they can't find you the money he was fined. So he's fighting for that. That's number one. Number two, changing cities doesn't I think it gives you a new light, but it doesn't cure whatever you're going through if there's really some situations they're going through.
Yes, sir.
My issue with Ben Simmons is there's inconsistencies in his story. One, he was going out because he just didn't want to play for the city of Philadelphia. Now he's going through some mental issues. Now he's going through some personal issues. And all those may be true. Not saying it's not true or not, but it draws me to conclude that, like, man, there's some holes in your story because it's never consistently all the way through. There's some other things going on. With that being said, again, man, he's due to lose. I think someone was saying anywhere between 19 to 28 million. That's a lot of coin to lose for him sitting out all those games. But if you claim mental issues, they got to pay you that money. So I don't know what to believe with Ben Simmons as of right now. And that's just me personally. I don't know what to believe if he was going through some things or he wasn't going through some things. Did him missing those shots and the criticism he took in Philadelphia draw all this mental stuff going on with him and these concerns with him? Is he going to have a new light in Brooklyn? Then now that's all over. I just don't know, man, because it's inconsistent. Kind of like you just showing the man right there, Kyrie Irving. His stories are usually inconsistent, so I don't know what to believe. Yeah. What's going on with him? I hope he's not going. But on the side note, I hope he's not going through mental issues. Right. I really don't. I hope everything's okay. And if he is going through mental issues, he's getting the help that he needs to cure it and all that stuff. Like I said, man, it's just inconsistent. I don't know where to go with this.
Tony, you bring it up, man. I want you to interject, man, because you was out there on the court back in the day too, so you know the whole dynamic in the locker room, and this changing teams. Do you think this is going to be a positive thing or a negative thing? Again, he's going to be around some more dynamic players out there in Brooklyn as opposed to what he was with in Philadelphia. Is that all he needed, or how does the mental aspect affect, again, going up against his former team on May 10th, if that's when he's actually cleared to actually play? How do you think he's going to perform for Brooklyn on that day?
Let's get it straight. He's a defensive player. He's not an offensive player. So when you watching him play with Kyrie, that's a bonus for them because they know he's not going to take shots.
The man is scared.
He's going to be a defensive catalyst.
Yeah.
Well, you look at him. He gets to the free throw line, though, but he can't make free throws.
Can't
So,
shoot. He
you know, when he's with Kyrie and Durant,
son,
that's totally different. You know, but James Harden, you put him with that nucleus, it's a totally different dynamic.
Yeah.
Because now you got a guy that's all he has to do now is concentrate on shooting. You don't have to concentrate on rebounding. You don't have to concentrate on playing defense. All you got to do is do what he was doing in Houston. You know, and that's
I got a question for you, Tony.
30 points a game.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Do you think him with this mental illness thing, or him stating about mental illness, is this now an avenue that the players can get out of their contract and change teams when they don't want to? If they say I have mental illness, I just want to shut it down. I don't want to play. I want out of here. I don't like it here no more. Is this setting a precedence for that to happen and for many other athletes that that are happy in their situation? You think?
Okay, it's all pro sports. All sports top athletes are doing this. You know, you see it in baseball. You see it in basketball. Now, you see it more in basketball, and you saw it a lot in football. Especially like Antonio Brown. He used it to his to the T.
Yep.
So in basketball, it's even worse now because now guys can sit out. Well, I mean, you playing a lot of games where you don't have to really do anything now and still get paid, like you said. You know, and you put that mental health aspect into it. You got to pay them. The owners have to pay them. You know, so
yeah, you don't want to play with that, right?
It's guaranteed.
No one wants that lawsuit of saying.
Aspect
Yeah, but I think the fear of it is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying the fear of it is that some guys are not going through mental health issues and they're going to claim this to be I'm a mental health because I'm happy with my situation. I don't want to play in Houston no more. I hate Houston. I'm sick of being in Houston. I'm sick of losing. I'm just gonna shut it down.
Say I got mental issues. Out of my contract, right?
I want to get out of my contract and have you just ship me on off. Because as we know, there's some players that can't get out of the situation, whether they're happy or unhappy. I think I hope they don't use this as a scapegoat, but I'm saying Ben Simmons inconsistently sure does say that he's using this as a scapegoat to get out of it and get his money. I'm just saying his story has been super inconsistent. I read 3 different articles while he was saying it, and they all said something different from the reason why he was sitting out and why he wasn't playing. So I'm just wondering, is this going to set a trend? I should say, this is going to be a trend we're going to see from now on with guys.
Well, this trend's already been set. It's already set.
Wow. The cat is already out the bag. Huh? Okay.
It's already out the bag.
So that's a sad state of affairs then, right? Because again, now you got folks gaming this system, right? And you don't know who's true and who's not true, right? Who really does have a problem with mental illness and mental health, things of that nature. So you bring in all these resources, you bring in all these programs, and at the end of the day, it's just Tony, just upset because he don't want to play with Montel anymore, right? I mean, right? So I mean that's a problem. That's a problem too. Well, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, kind of thing.
Well, like I said before, you got to think about the how can I say it, the time and period of some of these. I call them kids. You got to remember, these dudes is kids.
Okay.
Some of these
break that down to us.
They haven't grown yet.
He coming in y'all front door now. So, okay, here comes Tony Davis that I remember.
You watching them play. They still in that kid mentality, and mama and daddy's over there on the side rooting and fussing and fighting. The next thing you know, they taking your fights on, and you sit back watching like, oh, I'm still a kid.
Wow.
So that's what's going on. Like in NBA, I seriously think that's what's going on in NBA in all sports, basically in all pro sports. A lot of these dudes just have not grown up. And like I said before, you got to think about it. These dudes is like what? 20 to 25, 20 to 30 top.
What were we doing at 20 and 25 years old, right?
Thank you.
right? And we didn't have $1 million in our pocketbook, right? And
no,
probably still don't. Well, I don't have to get into that. But again, no one had the wherewithal to make the right decisions at that age. But that's an interesting point, right? The maturity that you're saying isn't there yet for these young
but
cats.
on that though,
come on, brother.
Our
Come
age,
on.
hold on.
You know what I'm doing. I'm picking at scabs. I'm trying to get.
But at our age though, I think we had a little bit more guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had elders that looked out for us. They taught us the right way. If we were oversteering wrong, for a lot of us, we had people we actually looked at our examples that were in front of us and learned from them. I don't see that from this generation. They're like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it when I want to do it. And I don't care what you old school. This is a new way of doing it. But we already know this is just the same book, just a different chapter. It's the same thing. It's gonna recycle. Everything's gonna come back around. I see that as a difference. I'm saying with Ben Simmons' situation, I just see this is a kind of more of a new precedent. Antonio Brown falls into that bucket as well.
Wow,
these
Antonio
acting out, being doing what you want to do, pouting, sitting out, and then when you feel now, all of a sudden when your money's about to be gone, oh, I got mental issues, I got some mental things coming on. That's like the after story, where we know Naomi, that was the front story. Hey, I got issues, I got some things I got to work out.
Yeah,
there was a difference. She did it the right way. These guys are doing it the wrong way. They're acting out. And then the mental stuff comes on the back end. That's the story, so they know they can't get their money taken away or for whatever reason. That's the part where I'm having a hard time when the story is inconsistent. If his story was consistent all the way through, I'll be like, oh man, he's dealing with some stuff that he got to do it.
Right.
But that's not his consistent story. So I think the NBA, I think it's going to open up some jobs. I think there's going to be some psychiatrists that's going to get some jobs all of a sudden right now in the NBA. That's for sure. But I believe,
in the NBA. I heard that.
I'm hoping these cats ain't setting a precedence where people think that's the way to get out. Instead of where we was at, hey, I signed the contract, I'm gonna live through it. I got to deal with it, like it or not. This is what I signed. I got to kind of go with it. And if there's an opportunity for me to get out of here, I'm gonna get out of here. If I don't like the situation, I got to figure out a way to change it. These dudes I sit there and pout. I'm just gonna pout and shut it down. I don't want to play no more.
Crazy.
I think that's such a bad example to set. In my opinion, that's just such a bad. Because we already know they're the half a percentile athletes in the world, but 95.5 look up to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they act that way. That part's, I have a problem with that. You don't have to act that way.
But let me ask you something. Okay,
mm-hmm.
You play college ball.
Correct.
I play college ball. So the thing about it is like, what does that start at? But that attitude,
mm-hmm.
it started way before they got to college.
Oh yeah.
So you got to realize that once they keep grooming themselves all the way to that point where they get to the professionals, then basically you're doing what you want to do from that point on. Owner's not going to tell you anything. Owners just expect for you to get to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're gonna be like sitting back and say, okay, you know what, you have a problem, that's your problem. As long as you're on the court or you playing on the field, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's happening right
producing
now.
For the team.
Saying, I don't care like you said, they don't like their situation, so they're saying, you know what, I'm gonna sit back and use this as a tool and say I'm crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
So Tony, let me ask you this, and Montel, you chime in too, right? So me and TD, we from military families, right? So I mean, we had just a different type of home training, right? And we just didn't act out like that. We did what we did, but we didn't act a fool like this and claim something that wasn't real if it's not real. And there's still military families today, so I mean that precedent is still there and that foundation is still there. But again, why are there so many young athletes acting like this, feeling entitled, feeling that they're it when they're really not it, when they're still sitting on the bench? They are not going to be the next superstar or whatever, but they swear that they are going to be. And start having these different types of expectations when they hit the court, the floor, the pitch, or whatever the case may be. What happened, right? Why are we seeing so much more of this today as opposed to kind of when we were all coming up through the ranks, or are we? Do you think we're seeing more of this?
You want him to go first or me to go first?
Let's go with the guest first. Let's go. I'm gonna put both y'all on screen, and I'm gonna let y'all have that.
You really want me to start this off? Okay, well, yeah. I think it started off basically with what they call AAU. This is the big problem, I think. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I've seen it because I've had children. I had 4 children. They've all went through the AAU process, and you see some of the stuff that goes on is like we just got through talking about. It's entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
It's the I take care of you situation. Or if you that good, I'll fly you from here to there and give you special privileges, or take you and do things, special privileges for you. And next thing you know, like you said, when they get to upper professional areas, then you see this type of attitude basically come out. So I gotta tell people, I said I've seen the AAU circuit, and it to me it's the worst thing they've ever made, because you have a lot of people who don't use the AU circuit as a tool to teach people. They don't teach them at that age, to be honest, to be self-centered, to be a team player. Everything is individualized. So, I don't know what else you want me to say about it, but that's my point of view on why some of these dudes are like they are today.
Go ahead. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper than that.
Oh, see, here we go.
I'm gonna go deeper.
This is what I was waiting for. Tony, put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt
on. No.
Hey,
I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go a little deeper than that. I think it starts one at home.
Yeah.
And I think it also starts, and I hate to say it, but I think it starts also in the music we listen to and the entertainment that we look at.
Okay.
Because it's all me, money, bling, entitlement. I think that plays one part of the factor. I also think you're right. I think delusional coaches, delusional parents, and delusional friends and other siblings are telling these kids, hey, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. And when they go up against any kind of adversary that shows they're not the best, or they need to step their game up, is when we get this pouting situations or we get issues going on. Now, when they still are the best and they go all the way through up to the pros, like you said, the professional levels, where they reach the peak or the epitome of their sport, they've been spoiled so much and been told they're great so much and been able to do whatever they've been wanting to do for so much. Ben Simmons is a perfect example. He didn't go to class when he was out. Have you seen that documentary? He didn't go to class at LSU. He didn't do any schoolwork. He told them straight up he was only going to be there for a semester to play, and he never did anything. All he did is play basketball. So he took away some other kids' scholarship that really wanted to work hard. They praised him at the level, at the LSU level, as well as in high school, and he got to the pros, and now we see the way he acted. They gave him everything. He didn't have to earn anything based on his God-given ability to play basketball. I think the difference between them and now, someone like Magic Johnson, who was God-given blessed, you're right, there wasn't an AAU, but also the family at home, the family unit, made him believe in hard work. You had to work for what you had to do. Yeah. You had to be strong. You had to. I don't care how many points you score, you're still taking the trash out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. There you go.
You do wrong in your classes. Mama gonna come across with that belt or slap you with that left hand and make sure you're right. She gonna sit you in front of the class to make sure you're doing your grades right. There's a difference now that's going on, and I'm gonna blame this on a lot of socioeconomic issues. And I'm gonna say that because I think in that generation, in the era that we're seeing now, it was a lot of kids raising kids. There was a lot of young ladies that had babies, and they were raised together. In my opinion, a lot were raised together. There was a situation. We already know we went through that mass situation of incarceration, the crack era, and all that stuff. A lot of men were locked up. A lot of women raised babies. In that era, right there, there wasn't that role model. That male role model wasn't there. And now these young men have to figure it out themselves. And I think entitlement comes in there. What comes your role model is your coach, who's giving you everything, who's spoiling you. Mama's praising you because you're just doing good out on the court. Uncles is telling you whatever they want to tell you what to do. and your high schools are not doing anything to hold you accountable. There's a lack of accountability amongst all these situations, period. And that leads to what the attitude we have now. No accountability, lack of resources, lack of role models, and a lack of several other things in there that has led us to this entitlement that we feel you have to be entitled. You know, I don't understand whatever happened to hard work. What happened to wait your turn? And let's be honest with you. NBA and all them are guilty of it because let's change the rule because we want these guys coming in earlier to make us more money. They don't have to go through the college ranks. They don't have to go through those ranks no more. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's made it easier for these guys to make it to that epitome. And now we cry wolf and get pissed off when they act this way. When we were the ones that abled them. We abled them to be in the same situation. Yeah. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
No, I'm just gonna say, Tony, you didn't know you was gonna be participating in a psychology and a sociology course.
I didn't know that.
This is Sac State, 101. This is psychology 101 right here. But and that's it though, right? Again, I think we are the blame. We as an overall society are blame, and that doesn't mean that it's too late, right? I think we still need to continue to reach out and reach back, especially to the youth. And I'll point one finger out and have three fingers pointing back at me, especially for our youngsters. Just grab somebody and try to keep them on that narrow path, going the right way. Respect for elders, respect for yourself, all those good adjectives and things like that. And I just think that I see that not happening as frequently. It's more, and again, Tony, I think what you were saying about the AAU, just me as an outsider seeing some of that, just seeing kind of the expectations on some of those kids already. Everybody worrying about their brand when they're 15 years old. Man, don't worry about that. Worry about your fundamentals. Do the Allen Iverson and worry about practice. Worry about getting out there and get better all the time and those kinds of things.
But you guys don't think that you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
But that's the thing about it. We're gearing these kids to be professionals in their teens.
Yeah, that's tough.
In their teens. Yeah. Man, we got kids right now that haven't even graduated from high school making $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll talk about the NIL thing another time.
That's truth right there, brother. Yeah.
How's that sending? What kind of message are you sending kids?
Yeah. How you as a coach, both of y'all as coaches, gonna talk to a kid making $1 million because they done gone down to Popeye's Chicken for an hour and they bagging takeout orders. How you gonna talk to them?
But think about it, as a parent too.
Yeah.
Oh. You gotta think about it. Yeah. You're a parent. Yeah. Your kid is making $1 million. Who's going? Are they gonna listen to you? You hope.
Mom and dad bringing home $30,000 or whatever the wage is, and you standing on the corner at Jack in the Box.
Man, it's funny because we talk about this issue all the time. We talk about with the NIL.
Yeah.
How is an offensive coordinator gonna control a quarterback that's making $800,000 and you barely making $150,000 at the collegiate level? Yeah. Not much as at home. We're talking about the collegiate level. What strain do I have on this young man, or what control can I have over this young man to hedge over his head? Because his education and making money is no longer the carrot you can dangle over a college athlete's head no more. Or I can take away your scholarship. Take away my scholarship. I make $800,000 a year. I'm going to the pros anyway.
Take away my scholarship. Wow.
I make more money. You don't make more money than me. I could buy and sell you, coach. You make $150,000. I made $800,000 this year. So I think that's one issue. But we'll talk about that another. We'll have you back on for another one.
Yeah, my goodness, right? We didn't go off track. Forget the whole runner show that I had. But but see, that's the conversation to have. That's go ahead.
But I think, and I hate to do this, but we got to take a lens at the images that we look at, and I talk about the hip hop community in general. That's a boastful community. Kids are emulating what they are. Whether it be the Migos with the drip chains, the things they talk about is all about money, me. I gotta be this. It's also instant gratification. This is the images they show, right? Yeah. I got the cars. I did this. I did that. We already know we emulate those. We emulated them when our age was. We wanted to be like them as well. Yeah. But our era rapped about more revolutionary stuff, and it was more of a balance. This day and age, hip hop community is all about money, and glorifying money and objects and things that you have. There is no balance there that we see. That's so true. I think those also stare a negative image into these young men's heads while they want instant gratification. I want to get the gold chain. I want to be the one popular with the girls. I want to do this. They don't show the world the hard work or the responsibility that you need to do to go with all that stuff. So that's why we have these situations that are like they are now. That's my opinion only, fellas.
We had more balance, right? We had X-Clan, we had Public Enemy, but we had Too Short too. But we had a whole it wasn't all focused on just one thing, and we had a lot of folks that were out there, Common out there talking about some things that you should be doing to be better. You're right. There was a little bit more balance, man. Let's keep going, though, man. I want to be cognizant of folks' time, and I know Mr. Davis is. Where you at now, man? Are you still in California? You left coast? Where you at? You in Texas? I don't know where you are now.
No, I'm in Oakland. I'm out here in the Bay Area.
Shoot, he in Oakland. Oh, okay. Go ahead with your Raider self. Go ahead.
That's not.
What's that? Oh, what kind of? What you on, man? You on AOL?
No, that's not what I.
Okay. Tony gonna knock me down. Well, let's talk about a little football. Talk about the NFL. Let's talk about coaching, since I brought that up kind of as a joke, and it's my fault if that is anybody's team. But another serious stuff. We're gonna get into some fun stories here in a minute. But racial inequality, hiring practices, challenges around that, right? So we got the whole Brian Flores thing happening, and now it's getting out of hand, right? Now Brian Flores will never get a head coach job within National Football League ever, because he's thrown so much kerosene and gasoline on this situation that folks are looking at him like he's dangerous. Right, so not only was he going against the Dolphins, and not only was he going against the Denver Broncos for racial injustice in terms of hiring practices and things like that, now he's added the Houston Texans in that, and he's saying that they did him wrong too. Talk to me about how you guys feel about, and am I wrong in thinking that Flores will not get not just a head coaching job? He won't get an OC job. He won't get a water boy job. He will not be on anybody's coaching staff in the National Football League if he cannot prove any of these allegations to be true, because he hadn't come with no tape, right? He has not come with any validation or email or pictures or video that say, these three teams that he now has in his lawsuit have actually had any type of legitimate hiring discrimination for him. And he was probably he shouldn't have gotten fired from the Dolphins from the giddy up. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, we know he's qualified, but has he been able to prove the allegations to these major pieces of this large organization, the National Football League, which has a big voice? When you get them 32 owners in the room, and then they start bringing up the agenda item of Brian Flores, I got a feeling 32 folks are going to say nay in terms of bringing him into their building. Talk to me, guys. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, go ahead, my man. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. I want to hear.
No. I'm saying my thing with him. I mean, we got, like you said, there's no proof in the pudding as of right now. I mean, first he claimed, and then there was, then obviously he was being treated wrong in the unfair practices, and that I do believe some of that is true. Don't get me wrong. I think some of it is true.
Yeah.
Brian Flores won't. To answer your question, he won't coach in the NFL again. He will be. There's going to be some settlement that we don't know about. That is going to be focused on the wrongful termination from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Not on all these other lawsuits, in my opinion. It should be wrongful termination. Sue them first. Win that one first. Then you can branch out to all this other about the league and all that stuff. Man, you're not going to win. Yeah. It's been proven in the NFL you're not going to win. Colin Kaepernick had more more reason than everything, and they shut him up.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me you think they're not going to shut Brian Flores up? I just don't see it. They're not going to take this black eye. They're not. The league's not going to take it. So the story's already changed again.
Right.
So since it's already changed again, I think they'll figure out something to go ahead and sweep this under the rug, call it a day, and we won't hear about this story again. It's already starting to disappear and fade out of the headlines already as we speak. So
now, it's
I agree with you. He won't coach again. I just hope he can bring some solid proof.
Got you. I'm wondering.
Say it again, James?
No, I'm just wondering. Do you think that it's fading out of the limelight because of something that Flores is doing, or something that Goodell and the NFL is doing? Right? Do you think that they're talking to him behind the scenes and saying?
I think the NFL's doing it.
Okay.
I think the NFL was making sure that the media outlets aren't put this as propaganda, putting out there. I think they're talking to his legal team and saying whatever. Make sure you change the story and make sure things go this way. But again, Brian put himself in the line of fire.
Yeah.
He put himself in the line of fire by making all these accusations. You got to be able to produce proof. And I believe the brother. I think he has been targeted. He has had some situations going for him. But again, we know, like in the court of law, you got to prove it. It ain't what you think you know. What you know, you got to prove it. And unfortunately, he's going to have to prove it. But in him screaming roof and quiet and screaming fire, he's going to get paid. I think they're going to settle with him and quiet him down and let him walk off into the sunset with a pretty good paycheck. But as far as working in the NFL again, no, it won't happen. I don't think it'll happen.
That's
in my
crazy.
opinion.
Right. So he'll have a nice bank account, but he will not have the respect that I think he was looking for, and he will not be able to have a position. Now, some of these other leagues, the XFL, the what is that? The ACFL. So the other league that's going to start in April. Right. I mean, maybe they'll accept him there, but from working with Goodell and them 32 teams, Tony, what do you think? Do you think Flores will be back on one of those squads?
Oh no, definitely not. He's not coming. He won't be back in the NFL at all. But I mean, he's making his case. Making
a lot of noise. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I saw some article the other day when they talked about Lovie Smith.
Yeah.
And they were giving out of coaches, and Lovie got an F because they were saying that Lovie Smith is going to bring back like old style football, basically in a new style game. And and when I read it, I was like, hey, that's a slap in his face, basically. Knowing that he was fit for the job and his mindset for the players was there, but you bring back Lovie Smith. I was like, wow. I said right then and there, I said he's done in the NFL. He won't coach anymore. So right now, it's almost like you got to have a collusion type of thing to say, okay, we put all these dudes together. They make it look like they all came at me this way, and then hopefully, like you said, I'll get a big paycheck and right off in the sunset.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna just add on to it. You know what's funny about this whole situation when I was thinking about it? You know how Hugh Jackson chimed in and said they did it to me? NFL is always countering with somebody with their statement. As soon as Hugh Jackson came out with a statement, John Elway came out with his statement. I didn't do anything. We held. They always countering the good. Whatever statement that comes out that's negative towards it, they're countering with something that's positive on the NFL side to combat that. So with me, like I said, I think if Flores can show some proof besides that text message, which obviously that was, the Giants were 100% wrong in that. So he could definitely get them on wrongful termination in the New York Giants per se. But everything else, man, he's got to show some proof. Like, I want to see him win. I really do. After when they did the Colin Kaepernick, I want to see him step up and say something and be able to prove some dismantlement. So they have to change some things.
Yeah, we still rooting for Colin.
I just can't, man. I just don't see it, man. I mean, I don't want to believe. I want to think with my head and not my heart. My heart wants him to win, but brother, my head is telling me it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's too bad. That's interesting what you brought up right there, because I was thinking back to the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl right quick before we close. But Tony Dungy was asked about the whole diversity and the hiring of black coaches, and seeing a little bit of momentum but not enough. And standing right next to him with a counter conversation was Drew Brees, right? So again, when you have someone talking about the diversity aspect and trying to get someone to listen, they countered with, Drew Brees saying, yeah, you know what, in my whole 20-year career, I had one coach, and, could they have probably gotten from an OC, a DC to a head coach? Probably should have been more. So again, NFL trying to cover their own steps by having Drew Brees a poster child. Look, Drew Brees is a good dude. I mean, yeah, he said a few things right before he got out the league too. But he, for the most part, he's a decent cat. But that's interesting that you say that. And I thought about what happened at the Super Bowl when they had Tony Dungy and Drew Brees standing next to each other. So.
All of diversion.
Watch out for the smoke and mirrors. Don't pay attention to what we're doing over here. Just
because you think about it, this story comes out after the fact of what happened before that. Think about that. What was happening before that in the NFL? The Dan Snyder stuff.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was happening right before this. Then all of a sudden we throw this Brian Flores stuff out. Oh, we're gonna forget about Dan Snyder sending the text and all that stuff. Oh, we're gonna throw this out there. Oh, but it's all good though.
It's almost like we got these things saved up, right? Just in case something jump off. Oh, we got this one for so you can pay attention to this one instead. Come on, y'all. We not that crazy, Oh well, I'll leave that.
They don't talk about it though. Think about it. They don't even talk about it.
So Denver is part of this whole issue with Coach Flores. I'm gonna still call him coach just for the day, because the season's not the season is over, but I'll wait till 2023 before I don't call him coach anymore. But Denver Broncos may have another person who could be looking to purchase him. Byron Allen, who I did not realize had this kind of money. Good night. Byron Allen is the truth. Y'all need look. We always used to see him on TV and all, but man, I did not realize Byron Allen was legit like that. I need to see if we related in some kind of way. Let me get some of that Byron. Montel, how about you, man? Same last.
I wish we had some winners with the brothers, man. I would be at his front door, sure.
Wow.
Talk about cousin Byron. What's happening?
Yeah. So Byron is looking at throwing his name into the acquisition of the Denver Broncos. What do you guys think about that? So we got Mannings, at least Peyton. We got John Elway. We got a group that had who was the other person? There was a couple other folks. I think Jay-Z was part of some at the early on conversation about that. But a couple of folks are throwing their name into the hat here of possibly owning this team. Tony, what do you think about someone like Byron Allen?
You really want my opinion?
Yeah, do I really want? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna put you full screen.
Look, my thing, like I said, everything is diversion. Everything is a diversion. I mean, this to me, this is sounding like the governor when we had the governors back in when they had the porn star running and Schwarzenegger and all of them running. Man, they pulling people out the hat. Everybody's coming out the hat. It's like, where was all these people like 2 or 3 years ago?
Okay.
We had some people that wanted to buy some people out here in Oakland. You wanted to buy a stadium out here in Oakland.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know what I mean? So where was all these people? Where they coming from?
Yeah, especially when you got some decent franchises out there, right? So the Warriors and the Raiders and things like that. How come the one kicked in is kind of what you're saying. I got you. Okay.
So now all of a sudden we got Byron Allen coming up. And we got, like you said, we got Jay-Z coming out the woodwork. It's like, hold on, man. Where was y'all at? Y'all wanted to buy the Broncos?
The Broncos.
Hold on. Y'all would rather buy the Broncos than to buy the Raiders. That wouldn't sound right.
And the Broncos are expensive, $4 billion. That's a B,
right.
$1 billion. Yeah.
I mean, you got Oakland sitting right here. Why don't you just buy another NFL team and have them sit right here?
You got a building over there that's now just in mothballed almost.
basically.
Okay. And that's coming from someone sitting right there in the city. Okay, tell us how you really feel. Okay.
I mean, I know the fan base is going to be here.
Yeah.
I know the money's going to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is one of the highest probably paying tickets that was on in the area, or maybe in the NFL, basically, besides Dallas.
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
so,
legacy franchise, legacy fan base. I mean, I know Raider fans who fly everywhere, not just home games, but fly to away games, and it's legit. It's like East Coast college football for the Raiders. I mean, out here, I mean, people are die hard. Wow.
But Denver's Denver, so we'll see what happens. I think, like I said, I think it's all a diversion.
Okay.
They're gonna throw us off, and then you know what's gonna happen? John Elway's gonna get the team. Watch what I say.
I'm a mark it right there. 7:38 p.m. Pacific
That's
time,
right.
right there. Tony Davis. And I agree with that. I think if anyone has any insider information, which probably is illegal and shouldn't happen, but it's either going to be Elway or Elway and Manning somehow being the ones who own and co-own the team, as opposed to all of these other folks that have been thrown into the hat. Montel, what do you think about this? Is this even worth having a conversation?
I'm 100% agreement. I think it's going to be the Elway and his boys, or a combination of Elway and Manning, own the majority of the stake of the team. I'm great. They're black faces are putting their stamp on it, saying that they're interested in doing it. But like Tony said, there's been other teams available in other areas that would probably be more profitable, because we're looking at it from a business standpoint. What is going to be more profitable? Obviously, Denver Broncos are not more profitable than the Raiders.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for somebody that's kind of like that, remember, when the Chargers moved to LA, they could have put a bid in for the Chargers to make them stay in San Diego. So there's been opportunity for people to get in. I think they just haven't let them in. Let's be perfectly clear. Jay-Z is not going to own the team. He's not going to be. He don't got them kind of pockets. He would be just a figurehead. He ain't got them kind of pockets.
He definitely going to be the minority owner, right? He definitely
yeah. But I believe that he can have some say so, or if he was able to get on the team like that, or he can kind of be a minority owner, just like Serena Williams and all those guys were with the Dolphins and so on. Which is a step forward, obviously, for having a minority ownership. But as far as who's specifically going to get the Broncos, I see John Elway's in the driver's seat. Him and Peyton Manning also won a Super Bowl for that city. They got something, they got something definitely they can gel with, go with. I mean, have you ever been to Denver? John Elway owns damn near every car lot that's in the state.
It's crazy, man. Yeah,
it's in the state. So he's got enough coin to be able to back up what he wants to do, and the fact of the matter, he's a long-time Bronco. He's won Super Bowls with him. He has a lot of history with him. It seems right for him to be able to step into that role, whether you're black, white, green, or orange. It doesn't make any difference. It just seems like right.
Exactly.
I would like for minority minority ownership, to be honest, to get in on an expansion. I think that would be the most easiest way for us to get in, to be able to do that culture and everything. And we have two ripe cities. You have the city of Oakland that's ready, and we have the city of San Diego. Those are two in California.
Wow. That
would be ready to go. They have stadiums, things ready to kind of go. I do wish, though, that there would be kind of how the Colts did in Indianapolis. They get the grandfather that name in. Like, we are the Colts, or not the right. You don't get to take it with you.
Yeah.
So San Diego Chargers will be the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
You have to change your name something different if you're going to move to LA. The Raiders, if you're going to move to Las Vegas, if we're going to bring back Oakland Raiders, it's going to be the Oakland Raiders, and you're going to have to change your name in Las Vegas to something different. I wish it would. I would. Yeah, just to kind of be back nostalgic, but I do believe the way that minority ownership is going to get in, and I was reading an article, is going to be expansion. Now, when does the NFL plan on expanding? I mean, the way the sport is going right now, I think it's going to be sooner than later. I think they just need to find the right cities that are ready to embrace a new team and be able to build that out. I do believe like the USFL and all those things are going to kind of set spawns in these smaller markets to see which one is going to be the best one for one to expand in. Is Portland ready? If they're not ready, it's Sacramento. Is Oakland ready? Is San Diego ready? Are any of these other places ready? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to those ownerships, they don't care about the game, who's on the X's and O's. They can care less. It's all about the mighty dollar and how they're going to be able to maximize their profit.
All about the money talent. Golly, that's it. We'll see. But thought we'd bring the story up. No one else is talking about it, and we will see who ends up owning these folks here next year for sure. Because I'm sure they're going to come up now. It's the off season. Figure out what's going on. Mr. Davis, I see you done came. Oh Lord, what you on your cell phone now, brother? Hold on, wait a minute. He done came in on his cell phone. Look at this. You all
I done
zoomed
had to
in.
break out the cell phone.
You sure did. Okay, that's all right. We on the last topic. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. I don't want to use up all your minutes. I don't want to use all your T-Mobile minutes, brother. Super Bowl. All right, you watched the game. Talk to us about the game. Let's start with the game first, and then we'll go into some of the other aspects. Them Bengals tried. Them Bengals sure did try. Joe Burrow sure did look like Garoppolo that last play. I'm just gonna say that right there for all my 49er fans. He showed it looked like Garoppolo, but it was a nice test between two of the last remaining teams. I actually thought at the last minute that, but before that last play, I thought that the Bengals were at least going to tie the game up. Talk to me about what you guys thought about the game in and of itself. Then we'll talk about the halftime show.
The game was great. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Other than that last set of plays,
you're gonna talk about. We're gonna call that the Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what we're gonna call that last play, the Jimmy G.
I don't know if you can even call it Jimmy G. I mean, the game was play. It was a slow game. It was a slow game.
Yeah.
But at the end, they didn't throw any flags for them to march down the field. 75 yards?
Yeah.
And get a touchdown? Come on, man. Something is up.
Yeah. The officiating at the very end was slightly questionable. I will say that at the very end, it seemed like something was in at the end there.
You had referees wait till after the play was over, 5-10 seconds, then
before they
threw
the
flag.
Yeah. That's true. It was a little questionable. What, they couldn't find the flag? He put it in a different pocket or something? Something was going on for sure. There's some PI, some pass interferences, folks, that was called that really didn't look like it was a PI.
Some holds,
man,
all that.
Yeah, so don't know. Was the fix in? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'm letting Tony say it.
Man, the fix has been in the whole year.
So he said it, folks. Oh, Lord.
The whole year.
I'm going to have to erase this.
We showed the referees the whole year controlled the game.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing in the Super Bowl.
They sure did try.
They controlled it.
Yeah.
Until the very end, and that's when they let them play football.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they drove down the field 70-something. Man, I still can't believe it. They drove down 70-something yards. And no penalties.
Nothing.
Except for defense. Defensive penalties. No offensive penalties, defensive penalties. Mm-hmm. Now, something is wrong with that picture.
So, wait. So, let me make sure we clear. So, you're telling me that dude, it wasn't pass interference?
Which one?
On the Cincinnati? On the Cincinnati, you talking about the LA drive down, right?
You know what? Y'all keep talking. I'll find the look.
No. I'm talking about both. Well, one was definitely holding. He held him. And then the second one, the long one, I questioned it because I think you should be able to play physical on the DB. I mean, personally, I was a DB. I don't see it, but I mean, it's a toss-up call. I don't think it should have been called. I feel the same way. But I know that for sure the one on the goal line was a hold. He held him.
The linebacker?
He did huh?
The one with the linebacker.
Yeah, when he held him by his waist. Yes, that was a hold.
Okay.
He held him.
I'll go with that one.
That's the one I'll give. The long one, I don't think that was a pass interference.
No.
The one on the goal line was the one when they gave him the extra 4 downs. That was a pass interference.
No,
you know what I mean? Yeah. My take on the game: good game, entertaining. Unlike you, I liked it because I like defense more so than offense. All these 50-point games is stupid because that means the defense can't play anything. I do believe the narrative got changed whichever way they wanted to. The refs kind of controlled the narrative how they wanted to go. Beyond that, I'm not, Stafford, he got one. I didn't think he was going to win one. But also Burrow showed that he could drive 75 yards, but those last 2 plays he did when he got sacked, kind of just showed his youth and his, lack of maturity in a situation like that, because they had opportunities to win, or at least opportunities just to hold on the ball and tie it. Because he could have just took the snap and fell forward. They were already in field goal range before he got sacked.
Well, not even that, Montel.
What?
Think about it. They were what? They were 3rd and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati was 3rd and 1, and you don't bring your main running back into the game. You
give I agree. Mixon should have been.
Yeah, you give it to Perry.
Me and you agree. Mixon should have been getting, and he was moving the ball.
Look, Mixon was throwing touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm not. They're play calling questionable. Whether it was they were all into the fix or not. I think Mixon should have. I think that last minute and 30 seconds, especially when they got on the Rams 40, should have been feeding to Mixon. It should have been the Mixon show the whole time. They try to do whatever they want to do and try to throw Jamar Chase and all that black crap. Yeah. They still got themselves in field goal range. Before he took that sack, all he had to do was say hike and fall forward. Yeah. The game was tied at that point. It could have been a field goal, and now we get a whole other quarter.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Joe Burrow did. He tried to scramble and do whatever, got sacked by Donaldson, took him out of field goal range. Also, the part that I didn't like about the game, there was still one more down left, and the Cincinnati didn't run another play, which I don't understand. That, like, why didn't you hurry and get to the line and go for the gusto on the 4th down?
Wow.
That's the part I did. That's the part I was like, wow. Why did they hurry and get to the line and say, yo, let's I don't care what you do, throw the ball up, do something.
Hail Mary or
make something happen really fast, because we already know you can get a play off in 13 seconds if you really want to. Trust me, Mahomes showed us every week.
Look, we've seen Tom Brady score 14 points in 13 seconds, right? So
we can get it off. I don't know why. Yeah. That's the only part I'm just like, it was iffy. But otherwise, the game did what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to entertain. Yeah. Did the better team win? Questionable. I'm not a big Rams fan. I'm glad to see that Donald got a ring.
Yeah.
The one part about the game I didn't that I was more, I didn't think I was going to be bad about was OGB. I wish he wouldn't have tore his knee, because he was having a good.
Odell getting hurt. When Odell went down, that's when I was officially rooting for the Rams, because
that part right there.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part, but in retrospect, Cooper Kupp showed me he's the man. Period. That boy can play some football. He's a bad receiver. Him and Jamar Chase are the receivers of the future. So
the Rams are lucky to have won because they didn't fully utilize Kupp throughout the game.
Right? Yeah,
well, but they couldn't. They had 2 players down. They had OBJ gone. Higbee was gone. And Jefferson was sorry.
No.
He didn't even get cut. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play very good at all.
On his mind, because immediately after the game, he went to the hospital because his wife or his girlfriend had their baby. So he had other things on his mind. I'm gonna cut him some slack. Right? Immediately after the game, he didn't celebrate with the team. He went to the hospital.
They didn't even use Sonny Michel.
Okay. Yeah.
So
as much credit as McVay deserves about how great of an offensive coordinator or mind genius he is.
Yeah.
The game came down to play catch with Kupp. It was one. Yeah. Well, no matter what Kupp ran, he was throwing in the ball.
Yeah.
Kupp, obviously, they ran plays. They ran a lot of pick plays. I don't know if people know about football, but they ran a lot of pick plays for him to get open.
And they should have called him. And they should have called him, because a lot of it was picks, offensive interference.
Yeah. They ran a lot of pick plays. And I know, except for the one when he ran the fade, except for the fade on the goal line when he caught the one. That wasn't a pick play, but they ran a lot of pick plays for Kupp. I'm all good, but the thing is, I'm all good with them winning. I wouldn't argue like, damn, it's a big conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
They won it, that's fine. It's entertaining. That's great. That wasn't a big part of the show. I don't even think that was the headline of the show.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and get into it. Feet, go ahead and set it up right there.
I hate to keep it real. That wasn't a big part of the show. The big part of the show, we all know, was halftime.
We had everybody crip walking, didn't we?
It didn't disappoint at all. Matter of fact, if I had any critique of the show at all, I wish Ice Cube could have been in the show.
Okay.
Because I think Ice Cube was a part of the West Coast. I know I know the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area. I wish E40, but E40 don't have that catalog like they do.
Right.
I wish Ice Cube could have been on this show, and I wish they could have paid some homage to Eazy-E, Nipsey, and Tupac. Like their pictures somewhere.
I wanted a Tupac hologram, to tell you the truth.
I did. I wish they could have did something like that. But for a 12-minute show, I felt like I was in a whole concert.
Yeah,
that was a 12-minute performance. I felt like I was in a whole concert watching that halftime performance, man. And I think hip hop arrived as far as like our music is here to stay. Our culture is here to stay when it comes to that. They kind of solidified.
So Tony, I want to ask you, Tony, who was the most compelling part of the halftime show, because mine may actually surprise you. What was of that whole halftime show? What was the part that kind of stuck out with you the most?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar was a bad man, wasn't he?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar. I mean, hands down.
Yeah, he was tough.
The one that shocked me was 50.
Yeah. And come on, 50 too big to be late. I mean, and see, a lot of youngsters don't realize that whole stance upside down is how he was in the original video. But he was probably 80 pounds lighter, and he didn't look right hanging upside down. Talking about, okay, he did it. I'm glad he didn't fall and bust his head. But 50.
And nobody recognizes either that they had another performer on the stage that are just as good as them.
Pop.
Bruno Mars boy, right there.
Anderson .Paak. Yeah.
Anderson .Paak.
Yeah. Anderson .Paak was right there. I was telling everyone in the room. I said, "Look at Anderson .Paak on the drums." Yeah,
doing it. I mean, he was doing it. I mean, I don't know. I was like, wow, you don't give him no homage. Hey, the most compelling part of the whole show was me. I hate to say it, was that little 30-second piano rendition that Dre did.
When he started with the pop
right
song,
there, I was just like,
started with the pop song in there. Yeah.
I thought that was cold. Huh?
Yeah, that made a lot of hip hop heads just step back and say, okay, this is cool. The part that got me, and I'm surprised that he was the one that did it as opposed to anyone else, was M with the kneel.
Oh yeah,
and then with the fist, right? Eminem with the kneel in homage, because we talked about it already. The homage to and the salute to Colin, and then with the fist up in the air. That sent shockwaves across the world. I think when folks were listening to Dre on the keyboard while on the piano while he was playing Tupac and while he was playing the other song, while Eminem of all people was down there on one knee showing some respect to Kaepernick. That part was the coldest part right there, nonverbal action right there that I think folks are talking about.
Absolutely.
Mary, I mean, I know we didn't mention Mary, but it's always good to see Mary J Blige doing her thing. Everyone loves Mary, but I wish she didn't fall on the ground like she did. Though, it looked like she hurt herself when she.
But I'm saying, for a 12-minute performance, we all felt like we was at a whole concert, right? We felt like, damn, it's like they really brought California to the masses.
It was hot. It was hot. Yeah, it was hot.
And kind of what we embody here on the West Coast. Yeah. I think by them now, it didn't come as the Bay Area style and what they do in the Bay, but it's still West Coast no matter where we go. It's what we are. I thought the show was like, man, there will never be a half compared to the last 3 halftime shows they had. This one right here, set the bar.
Come on,
this might be the best one they've ever had, and this set the bar way high. I don't even know what could top it. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know what they're gonna be able to do the topic. Maybe the Prince performance might have been the only one, in my opinion, that is better than this one.
Yeah.
But I'm a hip hop head, so I'll take hip hop over. Prince is when I'm with my lady. Prince ain't what I want to watch when I'm doing football. Hip hop is what I want to see when I'm watching football.
Yeah. So you didn't like The Weeknd last year? Okay.
Oh
so
man,
that dude liked The Weeknd last year.
That dude, he need to take that face, that man's face he had.
He better not get invited any more times to do the halftime. All right, so let me ask, and we'll close in this, Tony. Your top 3 Super Bowl halftime performances that you remember. Top 3.
Ooh.
Come on now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Top 3.
Woo. Hey, I don't know.
You wasn't ready. See that? You wasn't.
I wasn't ready. I'm not ready. Montel.
Okay, go ahead,
bring
Montel.
me back to life.
Hey. Top 3.
You know me, I'm gonna go Prince because I just gotta pay homage to Prince because he did his thing. The hip hop Dre and them are number 2, but they actually 1A and 1B. There ain't no number 2. They're number 1A and 1B. And of course, Mike, you gotta pay homage to Michael Jackson, even though I'm not a big MJ fan. Yeah. But Michael Jackson did do his thing. And I ain't gonna take nothing away from Bruno Mars when he did his. Bruno Mars was kind of dope when he did his a couple years ago. Beyond that, I don't even remember none of the other ones, to be honest with you. There was always country singers and somebody I wasn't interested in. So I don't think I even paid attention to watching.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Now,
I'm gonna cheat too, like you did with the 1A and 1B. I'm gonna say 1A was Michael, because Michael flying through the sky and doing his thing, and that was probably 1A. Man, that's tough. Prince as well, because when it gets to raining while he's playing Purple Rain, the Lord just said, man, let me go ahead and sprinkle these fools with some while Prince is playing and it's raining. Obviously this last one too, but didn't Beyonce do one, or am I just thinking about Homecoming?
Yes, she did. I thought she did San Francisco.
Yeah, she did one. She did one too.
Janet did her. Remember Janet had her with the debacle?
Yeah, but Janet got robbed. So I mean, hopefully she decided to come back. Timberlake, he didn't did 2, but I think Beyonce. So I'd have to cheat and add another one in there. So it would be Michael, Prince, and then this last one, and then Beyonce for sure.
Oh, now you come on, man.
I know. I'm just Don't ask me to be definitive up in here, man. I don't play by my own rules, man. All right, Tony. I'm not gonna make you come up with one while you can't think. I know we threw you on the curb, but hey, appreciate you, brother, for jumping in with us here, Team No Sleep. This is what we do, man.
Thank you for joining, bro.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. Wanted to bring you on camera. You are invited back. You now have the keys to the front door. You can come in. Just don't eat all the food out the refrigerator, but you can come in anytime, brother. You at home, man. Tuesday 6:30. This is when we get it in. So if you want to jump in anytime, do it. All right.
Hey, I want to tell you guys, I love what you guys do. You guys bring up the good topics, and hey, man, keep it going. Keep it going.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. We're doing and we're trying to do it for the culture. Share it with folks as you can, man. If you like what we're doing, tell somebody. If you don't like what we're doing, tell us so we can get better. That being said, y'all be good to yourself. Take care. Say something to somebody in your family. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the ones around you, and we out.
All right.